If you are a note taker, great. If you're not a note taker, remember you need to stay on task and pay attention. And Mr. Smith's going to videotape for us here today so that our lecture is online as well, in case you missed it, or for those of us who aren't with us today. So, we're going to start today with a new family, our third in our families. Remember we did the quadratic family, our parabolas, and we worked with them again yesterday, and then we did our square root family, and we worked with those again yesterday. And today we're going to add a new family, and that is the absolute value family. Don't take care of me, makes her nervous. She needs to focus. So, for the absolute value family, we have the base function, or original function, or parent function if you prefer, which is just going to always be y equals, and then the absolute value sign with the x in between. When you put your absolute value sign in, that's like your parentheses on the other problems that we've been doing. So in order to transform it, we're going to be able to put numbers inside of here to move it left and right, and outside of here to move it up and down.
I thought those were ones.
Ones? Oh yeah, no, the absolute value signs. Good call. No. Okay, so for clarity's sake then, these are not ones, but like the absolute value sign. Do you remember the absolute value sign?
Yes.
Where if you put in like a negative number, then when you pull it out, it's a positive number. Do you remember that? Sort of, kind of. Sort of. Okay, so when we talk about our absolute value family, thank you, Rizzo. They're going to stretch, but they're also going to transform. So let's just look at that for 1 minute. If you have a letter in here, remember that's our absolute value sign and not ones. Okay? The number that's inside of the brackets is going to move it where? Which two directions? Left and right. Okay? The number that's outside is going to move it
Up and down.
up and down. If I put a negative sign in one of these places, either here or here, what will happen? It's going to flip. Okay? So it's either going to flip over the x or y axis, and one of them it's not going to matter. So let's just start with taking out our calculators, and let's look at the absolute value function by itself, because it's pretty cool looking to start with anyway. And then we'll stretch it and shrink it. So, first of all, and most importantly, we want to go to our y equals. We want to clear out anything that's in there right now. And to find your absolute value sign, it's going to be really important right now that you're paying attention, because it's not a nice little sign that you see on there anywhere. Like I can look at all those keys, nothing looks like my absolute value sign up here. And so instead, if I want to graph the absolute value of x, I want you to find it. And it is the third key down on the left, the math button. So go ahead and put the math button. And then, let's see, can we go down or do I have to go over? I haven't done one in a while. Oh, we got to go over. Right there, if we go over to number, the first one, ABS, is going to be our absolute value. And notice again the parentheses, that's helping us move it left and right, etc. So we're going to put in the absolute value, and now x, and like we've been talking about all week, we need to make sure we end our parentheses. So did everybody find it under math? And then over to numbers? Okay? And then I want you to zoom 6 so we all have the same window again. Yes, ma'am.
My graph showed up the same, but like when I typed in absolute value, it didn't say abs and then have parentheses, it just had the bars.
Okay, remember that's because you have that crazy calculator that's
Oh, yeah.
auto-filling. Did you get a chance to call them yesterday?
No.
Okay.
You're supposed to call them?
No, but I gave Seb the number
Oh,
to call Texas Instruments and see if you can turn that off or not, because I wasn't sure, remember?
okay. I mean, I got the same graph.
Right, it's all good. I'll do the same. So we have the graph of the absolute value of x. If you go back into your y equals, let's add like a +5 here. And then in parentheses, our graph should move which direction if we had plus 5 inside our parentheses? Left 5. How many people think that's right? That is right. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. And even though it looks a little shorter here, that's just because our window's cut off. It's still going up on that side. Go back to your y equals and add minus 3. Now it should be left 5 and down 3. Good. Left and right if it's inside the parentheses. Now it looks like a sweet little check mark there. And if we were really so ambitious, we could add to the outside. So if you do second insert, a little negative sign. Look at you reading my mind. And we could go ahead and flip it over or reflect it across the x-axis. So we can do all the same things we've been doing all along with our graphs of the quadratic and the square root families with our absolute value family. Then they're adding, in this section, the idea of stretch. So you could have a horizontal stretch or a vertical stretch. And we'll look at both of those in our calculator in just a second, if you have a second to write it down.